Hello. Hello. So, this right here really is weird. So check this out. Okay, so this is the very first adventure I ever played with the game Dungeons and Dragons. I got it with a Dungeon magazine, and I was just a little kid, probably around 11 or so. And this game, the very first adventure was found in a Dungeon magazine, and the front cover would have to do. It's obvious that it responded to me because of the location of a tattoo that this girl I've been dreaming about has on her hip, and how it connects to things that I did as a child. I'm not going to share that online, but I'll surprise her with it in the future at some point, because it proves that she echoed into my childhood and that I echoed into hers. I'm excited for trying to give her the experience that she gave me. I'm not sure if it's possible I can give her as good of the one that she gave me, but it was definitely a wow. It felt so beautiful and perfect. Like I found her. And anyways, so let's look at this here of this. I just barely colored my eyebrows, so I'm a bit embarrassed right now from how I look. Honestly. But check this out. So this, as a child, this was the very first adventure that I studied. I would be his friend, the dragon named Drake. So if you read this adventure, you would find out that Michael is a little boy. It's also the name of my friend who died in my house. So you'll find that in this story, it's somewhat about what happened. So you'll find that there's a purple ball. They're talking about a purple ball in this story, and that was what Michael wanted from me. He wanted me to get him a purple ball, which would have come from Leroy Jenkins, the guy who killed my friends. He was not exactly the best friend to have. He killed everybody in his parties and his own party. And so purple means stay away typically, while the ball would represent a balloon of heroin, because he wanted it. But I was warned that he just got out of the hospital from attempting suicide. So it was my excuse to take his stuff for myself, while the way that he used it was the opportunity to give him less from the shock factor. What I'm basically saying was, he wanted me to get him heroin, but I wouldn't really give it to him, because I was scared that he would kill himself or something. But so he died in our house, and he would have been dope sick if he was, by the time he died, he would have been dope sick. So I'm glad it wasn't what I did, but I have to blame myself, because it'll happen again if I don't. I do blame myself for his death. There's definitely something else I could have done better to save him. In my eyes and mind at the time, I thought I was going to save him. I thought I was saving his life, because I thought that I heard that he just got released from the hospital from trying to kill himself, and I knew that he was taking his pills, and so he was going to run out of his pills. It was obvious, because he was like popping them like candy. In fact, looking back, I should have taken them away from him, or just maybe called the hospital and said, this guy took too many pills. But anyways, the police reported that all of his pills were gone. which would have meant he possibly didn't want to go without the withdrawal from Xanax or whatever, and just took the rest of the bottle. What a terrible thing to happen. But the movie Lost Boys, that seems to have used my mom. She seems to be the doppelganger. That's her doppelganger, the mother in Lost Boys. She could have inspired the people that made Lost Boys because of being a single mom in the most conservative place in Utah and having, wild kids on her own, because she was very much the same way. And then what that actress did after Lost Boys kind of followed my mom in a weird way. So Michael Warner died in my home from too much Xanax, as the dope we used the previous night wore off. So I was dope sick when I went to bed and last saw him breathing. And so he probably took the rest of his stuff or whatever. I don't know. So Drake is what? What does Drake actually mean? It'd be like Doctor Who, because of the letter E asking a question, and then it's like caring about what you're handing him. The purple ball. That was bad. And so I guess I am the dragon in this because I got into hard drugs, because of older women liking me. So in the mind of parents, it might be considered a form of rape or whatever. I was barely legal and I turned 18. I wouldn't have saw it as that, of course. But I guess if I was like a parent or something like that, maybe I would have saw it as, oh, this person is just shy and just trying to get closer to this person, and wants to get closer to this person, but doesn't know any other way. And so being a dragon, because of the dragonfly and how it captures somebody, kind of does remind me of that. But I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that I was raped or whatever, but it is a trap. And look, you can see where his left eye is. He's crying. And he's in the cage. Drake. So he's a fairy dragon. It's funny because I wore makeup and made my own clothes. And so Michael, that died. So there are goth songs from the band Angels of Light, Michael's White Hands, and there are songs from the Swans. And they will talk about wanting to kill me or my family because it's expressing the anger coming from Michael's father because his boy died in our house. And I obviously failed in saving him. And the direction that, honestly, at the time I thought it was saving him because I thought it would be getting him away from the hospital meds that he was wanting to take, that he OD'd from taking. I thought that I'd be able to, by spending time with him, I thought that I'd be able to, get him to stop popping those pills or whatever. So here it shows Michael. He speaks common, elvish, and a fairly good fairy dragon. And I feel like the reason they say that he speaks elvish is to know what could have happened could have been the bugs that actually killed him. Our house had a lot of spiders, and there were grasshoppers too. And if he did something mean to a bug as a child, they could have been trying to kill him, and he had no way to turn it off. And so he was like popping pills or whatever, trying to escape it. Honestly, that's more real than we've known. So this is all really interesting. It's with Forgotten Realms too. Get it? Have you seen my friend Drake? He asked the group. So you end up finding this dragon. So the adventure, with this adventure, you're supposed, the dungeon master or whatever is supposed to guide people that find a child that's looking for a purple ball, and he's trying to get their help, and he's looking for his dragon friend that's usually there, but he's gone. So you end up finding out that his dragon friend is being held in a cage. These things called the Tazli captured him. And that's really funny because of the letters T and S being found in them, because it could describe the police. Letter T is like gifting or taking it away, while the letter S is measuring what enters the body. So it's like making sure that he's, in jail or whatever. So there's an undead dwarf at the very end in the dwarven tomb, an undead dwarf. So the dwarf represents somebody trying to always get taller, always grow taller, somebody who feels like they should be using constantly. And so this person is found where I'm locked up. It makes sense. So that's really interesting. So there's another example of how the content I came across was responding to us and trying to save us.